I'm building a crypto trading bot network that trades live 24/7 on my website, taylormcclinney.com. Each Friday, I publish an update about the week, how the markets did, and how the bots did, and any updates I made. This week has been our best week yet by dollars. We made $55 in total in the last 7 days, or about 6%. Bitcoin has been trading sideways for the whole week at about an 8% band, which, although my network is meant to be flexible and take advantage of pretty much any market, this is pretty much the ideal condition as seen by the weekly gains. In a moment, we'll take a look at the charts and review why things went so well and look at Bitcoin versus some alts. If you're interested in how it's made or building your own, I've published two videos reviewing the background and the architecture and actually walking through the code and showing you how it's done line by line. So if you're interested in that, go check out those videos. I'll put a link up here to those couple videos. And yeah, just give me any feedback so I know that it's worthwhile continuing that series. That series takes a little bit more time than these weekly updates, so I just want to hear from people and know that it's helping them. Also, we have a fairly new subreddit that is /r/tradingwithbots, and there just publish educational content and videos that help me and sources of information that help me, and others contribute to that as well. So again, it was a great week. Let's go ahead and look into the Bitcoin charts and some of the altcoin charts to see how things went. I'll put a link up in the, which side is it? This side. Here we're looking at the Bitcoin daily chart, and as we previously said, things have pretty much traded sideways for the last week or so. You can see we're in this still general uptrend, which is great. As I've said before, it's quite a bit unexpected that we're continuing to have this strength. So let's go and look at, here's the 2-hour chart, and I've highlighted this week just again to show the context of the last week of the bots trading. And that again, we traded in this 8% band here, which is again just great for the bots. In the last couple hours, we've had this like $500 surge, which is pretty cool, interesting. What I also want to look at is let's compare Bitcoin and its chart movement to a more volatile coin that I like to trade a lot. This is Compound. Comp was I think our most traded coin this past week, so that's why I chose to look at this one. And you can see that it actually had somewhat similar percentage movement, a bit more. I have 9% pictured here. You can see a bit later in the week there was a bit more movement. So it traded similar to Bitcoin but had more extremes. And you can see obviously we have these peaks up here, peak up here. The bot doesn't take as much advantage of those as I wish, so that's something to consider going forward. So again, overall, the alts were kind of in a range as well, with some peaks jumping out. But Compound was great for the bots this week, and if basically any little movement you see in Bitcoin, you see exaggerated in these altcoins. And it again goes down from like Cardano and Ethereum down to the more kind of exotic alts. I continue to prepare for more downside. I do think that we're going to have some type of reversal or kind of mean reversion before we make new highs or new lows. So I don't know what's coming next. I do think ultimately we'll continue to see strength throughout the end of the year, but I do think that we're going to have to see some weakness before that multiple times, but especially now since we had about 11 or 12 weeks of weakness and then we had a surge. I think we're going to have to turn around here soon. So on that note, I still only have 2 bots going. Previously I've had 3. So again, that cuts our potential profits that we've been looking at for the past 5 weeks. It cuts it down by a third. So that kind of stinks. But in this time, I came up with a strategy actually that relates to what I've been doing with RSI. So I've talked about my sticking to my RSI strategy. I built this system so that I can change the technical indicators and the methods in which I enter and exit trades dynamically. But since I've been doing this for the last 5 weeks, I've just stuck to RSI. And I'm using 3 RSI values all at the same time. So it's 15-minute, 1 hour, and 1 day. And over the last many weeks, I've basically just been adjusting the 1-day RSI by hand every couple days and leaving the 1 hour and the 15-minute the same. So throughout the last week, I set the RSI buying threshold as high as 65 and as low as 55. And again, remember 70 is overbought and 30 is oversold. So I think anything over 60 is pretty high. So even being at 60, I consider high. So the new strategy that I came up with is actually just a very, very small addition to my current strategy, and that is increasing the number of bots and limiting the number of deals that can be opened at a given RSI value. So an example would be, say the market's overheating a bit, kind of like it is now. I might let one bot open a deal at RSI under 65, but only one bot. And then if the market moves down a few hours later and there's alts available under an RSI of 60, I might let another bot open a deal, and the same thing for 55. That way I only have one bot that's in this kind of higher risk situation, one in a smaller, a medium kind of risk situation, and one in a bit more safer situation. So that allows me to continue to have more bots and not continuously limit the number of bots based off of risk, but still basically just kind of stratify my risk a bit. And it's an extremely simple addition to my current strategy. So I'm going to implement that in the next week and see how it goes. Hopefully I'll be able to talk about that in next week's video. So again, to look at the results for the week, right now we're seeing here about $54. This is trailing 7 days by the second. So you could update this page, and if a deal was made 7 days ago to the second, then it would be pushed out. So again, we made about I think it said like $57 this morning. Yeah, $55 this week, and our last video update was $100 for the month. So this is pretty cool. Same amount of, or I'm sorry, half the money from last month in 1 week. So things are going really well. Again, this was only 2 bots. This is less than $1,000 at risk. So I was really happy with this week's results. Hopefully we'll continue to see somewhat similar market environment for the next couple weeks. But again, I'm expecting a downturn and have been saving money for that. So thanks for tuning in this week, and we'll catch up next week.